So, we've reached the meme Minions Rise of Gru Death Battle episode, because everyone's wearing tuxes and calling it the greatest thing ever. But, was it the greatest thing ever? Was the hype worth it? Let's find out. So, first off, analysis. They're pretty good. I like Black Adam's. It goes over his character pretty well. It goes over his powers. I didn't know he had a lantern ring, and that's really cool to know. That's probably like the coolest thing in this episode to know. Yeah, they're cool. The jokes are like, there's like not really many jokes. It's not funny, but they don't really attempt jokes, so I can't really criticize them for that. Editing is great as per usual with comic episodes, but yeah, it's just an analysis, kind of just there, nothing too special about it. As for the battle animation, this is where I feel like the episode really shines. This episode, the animation in it is just top tier. This is probably one of the best, if not the best looking sprite episode we have ever gotten. The 3D background looks stunning. The effects are amazing. All the movements are so fast and fluid. The effects, I already mentioned the effects, but they're really good, okay? They're really good. Apocalypse as a giant looks amazing and goes through like 3 different art styles, which is weird, but like all of them look good, you know? Everything in it looks amazing and just comes together to make this beautiful looking battle, and it's easily the thing that I think carries the battle the most. It's just how good it looks. What's certainly not carrying the battle though is choreography, and it's really my biggest problem with it. It's hard to explain. I really like a lot of the moments in this battle, like Adam busting out the yellow lantern ring, Apocalypse going kaiju, him going up his arm, like little stuff like that. Or like him ripping his hand through and the voice of Tahuti telling him to destroy the seed. Stuff like that. Those little moments are cool, but like everything else just kind of like happens. It's just not that interesting outside of like how good everything looks, obviously. It's not using their powers in incredibly interesting ways to me personally. I'm glad everyone else can like the choreography, but for me it just feels like a puzzle with a lot of fuck. It feels like it's just missing those other tight choreography scenes that fill everything up in between the hype moments. And that's really the area where I have the most issues with the fight, because it's great, it just feels lacking. As for characters, I do have problems with it, but not as much as choreography. Apocalypse is great. He really gets to act like a villain in this. He feels villainous. He's brutal. He's an asshole. He is snark. He just really comes across as threatening, and I love that, especially in the death, which is really goddamn brutal. But it also makes Black Adam look like a Muppet. And speaking of Black Adam, he is a Muppet in this. Because, while mostly he's good, there's just like a couple scenes I have issues with. Namely, the scene right before his death where he just stops fighting for no reason to say a quirky line while his people are getting slaughtered in the background. That's not cool. That's out of character. It'd be funny if it wasn't extremely out of character, I guess. Outside of that, it's just he has a couple bad line deliveries, and overall, the characters are mostly solid outside of a couple out of character moments. As for sound, oh god, this track is like so goddamn mixed for me. Fallen Gods, like, in the episode sounds good. I really like Brandon's part. His chorus feels threatening and boding. It really fits the matchup if it could have been a bit more hyped up. The climax I also really like, with like them both shouting it back and forth. But the actual rapping, the lyrics are not good. I'm sorry, but Black Adam saying, "I'm strongest, I punch the best," is not a good line. And, well, to be fair, they sound good if you're not looking into the lyrics. It also just doesn't fit this battle. So, like, the track's, it's serviceable, I guess. The sound design is good otherwise, though, even if a lot of the hits feel pretty unimpactful when they should feel a lot more. Finally, post-analysis is good. I think they explain Apocalypse winning really well, because I was expecting Black Adam to win, and while I still do think he wins, I do see all the reasons why Apocalypse would win, especially with them considered equal stats. If they're considered equal stats, Apocalypse just wipes. So, yeah, it makes sense why they went with that. And also, talking about the post-analysis, we can talk about the next time. Silver vs. Trunks is a boring as fuck matchup, but make a composite of both, and it's actually interesting. Who would have figured? Yeah, it being Heroes versus Archie is pretty hype. I'm actually excited for a Dragon Ball matchup. That's surprising. All in all, Black Adam vs. Apocalypse was an episode that I did enjoy, but I feel like it is overhyped. I'm glad a lot of people enjoyed it. I'm glad the meme episode was so beloved. I'm glad people are just loving it. Me personally, I just can't really enjoy it as much as the others. I still had a great time watching it with my friends, and it was awesome. And I'm excited for the next time. Everything about it was good. It's just an episode that just feels like it has a lot missing. And for that, I'd give it like an 8. So it'd probably be like 4th place in the season, which once again isn't bad, just not as high as I see others put it. Still an episode I like though.